morning, dear participants. Welcome to our event, Life After Pandemic Today. In short, Life After Pandemic is also known as LAP, which is a collaboration between MEDxUM and Gathering of the Great Minds GOTGM. There will be a series of forums, workshops, and sharing sessions awaiting you throughout these 3 days. There will also be a lucky draw, which will be held on day 3 of the event. So do stay tuned as there will be many interesting prizes up for grabs. The event will be starting shortly, so do sit back and relax. A gentle reminder to please fill in the attendance form before our event begins. Thank you.
Good morning, dear participants, and welcome to our event, Life After Pandemic. I'm Chiken, along with my partner, Ms. Damini, and we are the MCs of this event. Life After Pandemic, or LAP for short, is a collaboration between MEDxUM and the Gathering of the Great Minds. Besides from that, we are also proud to announce the collaboration of the University of Malaya Medical Alumni Association, SMMAMS, and SCOME Malaysia. Together, we have prepared a series of forums, workshops, and sharing sessions for all of you, which we hope will provide much insight and hopefully a glimmer of optimism amidst the bleak realities of this unfortunate pandemic. Now to start it off, let us welcome our guests of honor, all who are kind enough to grace us with their presence. First up, we have the Deputy Vice Chancellor of the Student Welfare Department, Professor Engineer Dr. Abdul Aziz Abdul Rahman.
Hi everyone, good morning.
Good morning, Prof.
Yeah.
Next up, we have the Principal of Avicenna Residential College, Associate Professor Dr. Aizura Shafinas binti Ahmad Adlan. Moving on, we have the Dean of the Faculty of Medicine, University of Malaya, Professor Dr. April Camilla Roslani.
We also have with us our newly appointed Deputy Dean of the Faculty of Medicine, University of Malaya, Professor Dr. Muhammad Yazid bin Jalaluddin. Not to forget, we have the advisor of MEDxUM, Dr. Romano Ngui, with us today as well. As the advisors of University of Malaya Medical Society, Associate Professor Dr. Khairul Azmi bin Abdul Kadir and Dr. Kevin Ngui Shan. Once again, we would like to express our utmost gratitude for everyone joining us today. This year, with the ongoing pandemic, we have made huge changes with the incorporation of our event with the online platform, an unorthodox but necessary evolution in these trying times. Nevertheless, despite the virtual experience, we hope that all of you can enjoy the next 3 days with us. And now let us all rise to sing the national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, next up, the University of Malaya Anthem.
Universiti Malaya, kebanggaan kita semua, bertambah para ilmuwan di berbagai lapangan. Kami bertekad di
Thank you, everyone. You may be seated. Now, we would like to introduce you to one of the brains behind this event, representing one half of the collaboration that brings you life after pandemic. She has always been a very active member of many events organized by the Faculty of Medicine and has shown herself to be a very dedicated and responsible leader. Let us welcome the Director of MEDxUM 2021, Ms. Shushmita Chandran, to give us her welcoming speech.
Thank you for the wonderful introduction, Ms. Dharmini, and a very good morning to the Deputy Vice-Chancellor of Student Welfare Department of Universiti Malaya, Yang Berusaha, Professor Engineer Dr. Abdul Aziz Abdul Rahman, the Principal of Avicenna Residential College, Universiti Malaya, Associate Professor Dr. Aizura Shafinas binti Ahmad Adlan, the Dean of Faculty of Medicine, Universiti Malaya, Yang Berusaha, Professor Dr. April Kamila Roslani, the Deputy Dean of Undergraduate of Faculty of Medicine, Universiti Malaya, Yang Berusaha, Professor Dr. Muhammad Yazid bin Jalaluddin, advisors of MEDxUM and MEDsoc, our esteemed line of speakers and moderators, organizing committees of Life After Pandemic, and last but not least, our dearest participant. I'm Sushmita Chandran, and on behalf of the organizing committee of MEDxUM 2021, we would like to extend our warm welcome to all the attendees of Life After Pandemic. This conference aims to provide for its participants to gain knowledge, insight, and to exchange ideas revolving around the medical world that has been recently affected by this pandemic. COVID-19 has changed the way we do things, ranging from how we attend classes to buying groceries, let alone to organizing and participating in conferences as such. Hence, our team has come up with creative ways to ensure that we could execute our annual event and connect with our participants beyond borders. Throughout Life After Pandemic, we are fortunate enough to have invited incredibly accomplished speakers and panelists who will share their insights about various interesting topics through forums, sharing sessions, and workshops. The themes for these 3 days are Life During Pandemic, Locals Overseas, Unplugged Rebook Workshop Extravaganza, which will be covered extensively during the event. Now, organizing Life After Pandemic was not an easy feat, and we certainly could not have pulled this off by ourselves. So first off, we would like to thank our college principal, Associate Professor Dr. Aizura, and our fellow advisor, Dr. Romani, for inspiring us, motivating, and challenging us to think out of the box. We truly appreciate your guidance and advice, which helped us shape the conference to what it is today. We would also like to thank our collaborators, Gathering of the Great Minds, Universiti of Malaya Medical Alumni Association, SMMAMS and its Standing Committee of Medical Education, SCOME, for assisting us throughout the planning and execution of this conference. We would like to also extend our utmost gratitude to our amazing sponsors, Emboss, Lecturio, Osmosis, Todoist, and Precise Rehab, for sponsoring our participants with free access to their platform and lucky draw vouchers. And not to forget, we would like to also thank our media partners, Sinchu Daily and the Malaysian Insight, for the press coverage to help us reach a wider audience. I would also like to extend my immense thank you to all the hardworking individuals in the organizing team who have tirelessly dedicated themselves to making this conference a success. Life After Pandemic would not have been possible without their admirable passion and indefatigable drive. We started planning this since December of 2020, just before the second movement control order was implemented. Now, back then, we could not have imagined how April of 2021 would have been like, or let alone to organize an event as such. And can you imagine not having to meet most of your committee member in person? About a year ago, it sort of seems a little bit hard to do, but somehow this team has made the impossible possible. And I'm so proud of each and every one of you. And I'm truly honored to be able to work with all these amazing individuals for these past few months. And above all, I'd like to thank our participants to take their time off this weekend to attend this conference and to join us in this unique virtual experience. Life After Pandemic welcomes about almost 200 participants from all across the country and around the world. The past years, has brought about unimaginable shift in our perception of the world and drastically narrowed our social networks and hinder meaningful connections. Therefore, we are so grateful to have gathered doctors, nurses, and students to connect across borders in our inaugural virtual conference. Now, we hope that through Life After Pandemic, our participants will understand how COVID-19 has impacted the world through the eyes of students and healthcare workers, what the future holds for medicine after the pandemic, be it in Malaysia or globally. Now, with that, I hope that you will enjoy the conference. Thank you. Terima kasih, Nandri, and Sisya. Back to you, MCs.
Thank you, Ms. Sushmita, for that amazing speech. And thank you for sharing your vision on what this event is all about. But as visionary as our leader is, none of this could have been achieved without the support and the tenacity of a fine young gentleman. With Ms. Sushmita on one hand and this next gentleman on the other, we get a well-oiled brainstorming machine. So without further ado, let us invite the director of the Gathering of the Great Minds 2021, Mr. Ding Zisian, to give us his welcoming speech. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Ding Zisian.
Thank you, MC, for the kind introduction. A very good morning to Young Barossa Professor Engineer Dr. Abdul Aziz Abdul Rahman, Deputy Vice-Chancellor, Student Affairs, Division, Universiti Malaya. Young Barossa Professor Dr. April Kamila Ruslani, Dean, Faculty of Medicine, Universiti Malaya. Young Barossa Professor Dr. Muhammad Yazid bin Jalaluddin, Deputy Dean, Undergraduate, Faculty of Medicine, Universiti Malaya. Associate Professor Dr. Aizura Shafinas binti Ahmad Adlan, Principal, Abyssina Residential College, Universiti Malaya. Fellow advisors of MEDxUM and MEDsoc. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Zisian, the Director of Gathering of the Great Minds, GOTGM 2021. First and foremost, it is my greatest pleasure to welcome all participants of Life After Pandemic, a 3-day conference organized by GOTGM and MEDxUM. Today's conference has about 200 participants, comprising pre-university students, medical students, university students from various backgrounds, healthcare workers such as housemen, medical officers, doctors, nurses, dentists, and many more, participating from all around the world, making this conference a truly international conference in spirit. For your information, Gathering of the Great Minds is an annual event organized by Medical Society, MEDsoc, in collaboration with the Society of Malaysian Medical Association Medical Students, SMMAMS, since 2014, with the aim to connect medical students of different backgrounds to exchange their ideas and to broaden their horizons in the evolving field of medicine. As Helen Keller once said, alone we can do so little, together we can do so much. This year, we are so proud to announce that we are partnering with MEDxUM, an annual event organized under Abyssina Residential College, Academic and Intellectual Bureau to organize this conference. The main theme of this conference is Life After Pandemic, with 3 sub-themes for each day respectively. Our chosen theme is relevant to everyone present at this conference, as the onset of this pandemic has undoubtedly disrupted all sectors of our society, especially the medical fraternity. I truly believe that by inviting experts from various fields as our esteemed speakers to share their thoughts, knowledge, and opinions with the rest of us, our dear participants will definitely gain a better understanding of the changes and the impact it has on the medical fraternity, as well as the way forward from here. Like every year, we host various activities, including workshops. This year, we have prepared a series of exciting and interesting workshops which contain tailor-made content for both students and medical practitioners alike. I hope that this workshop will inspire you to find fulfillment in your career as a medical practitioner. Last but not least, I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to Universiti Malaya, the Faculty of Medicine, Abyssina Residential College, MEDsoc, our collaborators, which include the Universiti Malaya Medical Association, the Society of Malaysian Medical Association Medical Students, SMMAMS, and the Standing Committee on Medical Education, SCOME Malaysia, for your immense support. And to our advisor, Prof. Cairo and Dr. Kevin from MEDsoc, as well as Prof. Aizura and Dr. Romano from Avicenna Residential College for your patience and guidance towards us, and to our esteemed speakers for your time and effort, to our sponsors and media partners for your kind sponsorship and publicity, and not to forget our very, very own organizing committee. Every single one of you is truly amazing, and it is indeed my deepest honor to work alongside with you all. Without you, we would definitely not be able to reach what we have achieved today. I thank you for your time, dedication, and hard work. I would like to conclude my speech by encouraging all of us here to sign up for the vaccine if you haven't done so that we can finally see the light at the end of the tunnel. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Teng, for that wonderful speech. Moving on, let us invite the revolutionary college mistress responsible for the many new and positive changes within Avicenna Residential College. Let us give a warm welcome to Associate Professor Dr. Aizura Shafinas binti Ahmad Adlan to say a few words. The floor is yours, Prof.
Morning, everyone. Sushmita and Tang, I think you've outdone yourself. Congratulations, well done. The COVID pandemic affected us in a lot of ways. For a while, we were stunned, and clueless. Nevertheless, human nature retaliated and found resourceful ways to survive this global calamity. Conventional learning, teaching, and communication made way for online classes, simulated video sessions, and webinars galore. I am very proud of my students who took upon this ambitious project. Well done, team. I applaud you. Being younger and much more tech savvy, Life After Pandemic Conference was jointly organized by MEDxUM under the purview of Avicenna Clinical Residential College and the Gathering of the Great Minds, supervised by the University of Malaya Medical Society. Now, combining two annual events into an Olympiad of discussions with a desire to expand horizons in preparation for a possible life after the pandemic. In conjunction with the commencement of the National Immunization Program, we are set to promote the understanding of policies and policy making amongst the medical community, encouraging less explored yet important conversations and establishing a crucial advocacy initiative for positive changes towards the betterment of healthcare. A myriad of thanks to all advisors whom I can see. They are also our alumni, Dr. Kevin, Dr. Khairul, Prof. Yazid, thank you for coming in your debut as the Timbalan Dekan undergraduate. Thank you very much. And even Dr. Romano for being an advisor for this on the MEDx side. So to all advisors, speakers, sponsors, and my dear students for all your contribution towards this grand and impactful conference. As for the participants, we are delighted to have you. Welcome. We have packed a smorgasbord of mentally stimulating topics, and your presence is the very reason why, by hook or by crook, we will carry on this annual event. Every topic was picked, sliced, and diced to befit current issues that are in our minds, and with the aim of empowering students with knowledge regarding changes and impact of the COVID-19 on the medical fraternity. It would also help the future healthcare system, the recent issues pertaining to health, and cultivate all to equip themselves with this knowledge, not just in medical education, but also hospital and healthcare management, policy, and relevant health-related agendas. I wish to express my heartfelt gratitude to UMA, Universiti Malaya Medical Alumni Association, for their contribution, Society of Malaysian Medical Association of Medical Students, and the Standing Committee on Medical Education for your collaboration and contribution to this conference. Instead of whinging and whining over the loss of face-to-face conferences and meetings, let us not resort to social distancing. Instead, let's step up and call it spatial distancing whilst maintaining social closeness. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Prof. Aziz, for attending today and officiating our ceremony. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prof. Aizura, for that amazing speech. None of this would have been possible without your undying support and mentorship. Ladies and gentlemen, our next speaker needs no introduction. She may have just been at the helm for a handful of months, but already many have felt her ambition and her philosophy reverberating throughout the faculty, a sign of many great things to come. Ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome the Dean of the Faculty of Medicine, University of Malaya, Professor Dr. April Camilla Roslani, to give us her welcoming speech.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamualaikum, Salam Sejahtera and good day. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you to Life After Pandemic, an international event which brings together two annual meetings, the Gathering of the Great Minds and MEDxUM. Organized by medical students from MEDsoc and Avicenna Residential College, it draws further strength and representation through collaborative partnerships with the Universiti Malaya Medical Alumni Association, Society of MMA Medical Students, and the Standing Committee on Medical Education, or SCOME. The past year has seen unprecedented global upheaval, not only in the way we learn and work, but in the way we lead our entire lives. As frontliners in the battle against COVID-19, healthcare providers have been hit particularly hard, depleting both our mental and physical reserves. Academic clinicians have had to develop new care pathways based on an ever-evolving evidence base, while simultaneously coping with a steep learning curve in delivering on educational and research goals. Medical students and postgraduate trainees have struggled to meet clinical learning targets despite the valiant efforts of the faculty to boost the availability of online learning materials. This three-day conference is timely, therefore, with the themes of life during the pandemic, locals overseas, unplugged, reboot, and workshop extravaganza. I believe participants will leave with greater insights on how to navigate these challenging times. By leveraging the wisdom imparted by the esteemed speakers, you will be well placed to meet future challenges. In addition, it is hoped that the workshops will ignite a passion for endeavors beyond being a mere medical practitioner. Ultimately, the goal is to empower you to envision and achieve a fulfilling career with the ability to make full use of the opportunities that life presents. I would like to thank the organizing committee for their efforts in organizing this event, which will facilitate your march towards success. I hope you enjoy this event as much as the organizing committee has enjoyed planning it for you, and I wish you a fruitful time. Thank you.
Thank you, Prof. April, for that inspiring speech. To have such great support from the highest authorities of this university is truly a great honor. So, ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome the Deputy Vice Chancellor of Students' Welfare Department, Professor Engineer Dr. Abdul Aziz Abdul Rahman, to give us his officiating speech and thus officiate our event.
Very good morning, everyone. Assalamualaikum. Selamat sejahtera. Can you all hear me clearly? Can you all hear me clearly?
Yes, Prof.
Okay. Okay. Professor April, the Dean, Professor, Associate Professor Dr. Aizura, your Pengetua College Avicenna, she fight very strongly for you guys. Okay, I have my utmost respect for her, for her spirit in making sure that the medical students get the best out of this university. I appreciate your initiative, Prof. Fellow advisors, ladies and gentlemen, students, participants, and everyone. It gives me a great pleasure to be here. When Shushmita called me and we had some few discussions and what should be the point of the discussion today and all that, it was very interesting. The first thing that I asked her was, is the pandemic over? We are talking about life after pandemic. She gave me the perspective of things. Okay, then I understood that. Now, probably I won't stick to my my speech that was given to me, but I'm actually the chairman for COVID management in the campus. In the campus right now, we have about 3 cases. I think I would say that we are able to manage this quite well. So I thought this discussion, this deliberation, I see a lot of talks taking place. A lot of great people are talking. This is a very nice, and I wish I could attend and listen to all these things. But today I have other things as well, not able to attend. Otherwise, I'll be attending this as well. Now, just to give you a little bit of reflection, probably, I don't know, I may be wrong. Is this the first time ever in the history of humankind that the whole world is having a similar sort of problem as a national crisis? Is that right for me to say? Probably in 1918, when that pandemic happened, I was told that it was not all over the world. World War I was not, the effect was, of course, felt by people all over the world, but the incident itself was limited to geography and things like that. But this is the very first time, I believe, that the whole world, Arctic, Antarctic, no one escaped from this pandemic. So this is unique in the sense. It's not all doom and gloom, I believe. In the fastest time ever in the history of mankind as well, we have developed and injecting vaccine now. I cannot believe that I'm slotted to get my vaccination in a week or 2. So it means this is not a simple effort. This is not a simple achievement. This is a collaboration and working together, coming together of the human race. So this is actually what has happened. This pandemic, if you realize it, if you reflect it for a while, it's actually something that we have never seen. And then I think we have to congratulate ourselves as human beings that we put our minds together and we have these vaccines going on now. So that is something that we can have back of our mind. So another point that I would like to raise here is that we realize that a lot of things that we have taken for granted, actually it is something very special. Like going to Mama Show was taken for granted. Now it is a special occasion. It's a special thing for us to do. And before the pandemic, people apply to us not to come to work. They say that Provasis, I'm going to take leave. I'm applying to take leave. Can you approve my leave today? The thing has reversed now. Provasis, I want to come to work. Will you allow me to come to work? So that was really something that hit me very hard, you know, how our life has changed 360 degrees or 180 degrees or whatever. But some of these things are going to stay, okay? Some of these things are going to stay. Like what we are having now today, it was unimaginable even about a year ago, that all of us will be meeting and talking online without traveling, having coffee at the comfort of our own room. So, and these are good things that has to stay. So it's not all gloom and doom, but there are a lot of things that we learn about us, about ourselves. And it's a lot of things that we learn about our medical folks as well. I see it's a lot of respect for frontliners now. It's a lot of realization that what goes behind. It's a lot of realization of the effort that we have taken. So I take heart from some of my little experience that I have with my clinic. Not even a single time when we summon them to come and serve, either sending students 12 o'clock at night or servicing at 4 o'clock in the morning, that I hear that we are not able to come. They are always ready to come. So my appreciation, my thankfulness towards the medical community has tripled or has gone to a very high level. So I think the medical fraternity got a lot of role to play. And I think one more item that we may want to talk about and probably come up with something is that how we can actually communicate with the common folks like me, the non-medical folks, without much of a medical jargon, you know. For example, we ask simple things. For a pandemic, we ask people to wash hands, simple solutions, right? That sort of communications is what probably we need, especially in managing this pandemic, because sometimes I get a feeling that people are beginning to take it for granted. Actually, the virus is still the same. The danger from the virus is still the same. The effect that can be bring about is still the same. Probably our understanding has gone much higher. So the message to the non-medical community, like myself, has to be very clear, as simple as possible. So I think that's probably the sort of message that I can deliver from my own heart. And other than that, I see that there is a good collaboration between Universiti Malaya Medical Alumni Association. I think they have been supporting us very well with a bit of money. Society of Malaysian Medical Association, medical students, and the Standing Committee on Medical Education to guarantee this conference. I hope this conference is held every year, is it? So it will be repeated every year with a different theme. And the emergence of SARS virus has brought an impending doom to the world for a while, but I think we are coming out of this, or we will come out of this, I believe. The drastic changes caused by the COVID pandemic become significant as mental health arises as an issue of increasing prevalence. Yes, it is also. So I have more than 1,000 staff that I'm managing on a daily basis. Many of them none of them are not affected by this pandemic one way or another. No one can claim that, okay, I'm enjoying this pandemic, but everyone is affected, but everyone is, we can see also many of my staff helping each other and all that. So a new form of helping each other, new form of assisting each other, new form of understanding each other has emerged. And there is also a lot of respect for each other, and there's a lot of belief in each other. So with that, I think to conclude, I don't want to take along this one. I sincerely hope that this conference will be a blessing for us and the world in general. Once again, thank you for your participation in this great gathering of key intellectual players. And I hereby declare the conference live after pandemic officially open. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you, Professor Engineer Dr. Abdul Aziz Abdul Rahman, for that opening speech. Now let us enjoy an officiating video prepared by Iris Avicenna Residential College. Ladies and gentlemen, just a quick introduction of Iris. They are a team of dedicated and talented students responsible for supporting multimedia and publicity efforts for projects in Avicenna Residential College. Projects such as this, LAP. They usually specialize in videography, photography, and graphic design. And if you are eager to know how talented these students are, let us watch the following production, a collaboration between LAP and Iris Avicenna Residential College. Ladies and gentlemen, please enjoy.
Hey, you guys must wear masks and practice social distancing, okay? No. No.
Okay, so we'll continue with our case. Yeah, so basically, as I mentioned.
Wait, I still haven't asked my question yet.
Huh?
Wait, I'll do it later, wait, mom. Wait, I'm having class now, mom. Okay, wait. Okay.
Jeffrey, can hear you, right?
Oh, sorry.
Yes, doctor, are you speaking? I think you're muted.
Hey Ronald, you know about the COVID-19 vaccine?
Yeah, is it the one the government asked us to register with that MEDxUM one? No?
Yeah, bro, what kind of nonsense is that? That all of us have to take the bloody vaccine.
I know, right? Last time I saw on the internet, they say you take the vaccine, now you get facial paralysis, you know.
I know, right? You know, later I look like a stroke patient, then how? I cannot find a girlfriend, you know.
Like that cannot eh. Wait, so are you taking the vaccine now?
No, bro, I won't be taking the vaccine. But if you are taking the vaccine, I'll be unfriending you, bro.
Like that I think I'll choose friendship over the vaccine lah.
That's the way.
It's just so tough. There's so many patients. I don't get enough sleep. I rarely get to see my family. I feel like I'm drowning. Will everything go back to normal?
So much has changed over this last year, but the fight against COVID-19 has yet to come to an end. In these 3 days, we have a line of experts who will be sharing their experiences at the front lines, as well as knowledge on how to better cope with the situation. We hope to answer the hard questions that many of us still have regarding these unprecedented times. So sit back and enjoy.
Wow, wasn't that a wonderful video? Kudos to all the committee members here today for making this event a reality. And also a huge, huge thank you to Iris Avicenna Residential College for helping us make this wonderful video. If you would like to see more of their work, you can follow them on their Instagram page at avicenna.kkis. Now, can we invite all the VIPs to kindly